Doomy.
Now, doesn't this look familiar? Hello everyone, my name is Hecthor Doomhammer and welcome back to Prison Architect. This is my Cleared for Transfer DLC playthrough. But Doomy, you said you would quit that. You said you wouldn't continue after realizing how much the game code sucks and how laggy the game is once you've gone too far in expansions. True. I know that doing a large map with 2 expansions on each side will cause the game to lag severely. But I managed to find an old save where I only had this patch of land bots, and I was at the time building this area, the top area, and I decided that I would try it again because I desperately wanted this to work, but only expand once on each side. So it would only be this expansion, nothing down here as you can see. I will clone this up top to the north right here, which I did, and then expand to the west once, which I'll show you later, and then expand to the west, to the east once, and build there. I'll show you that later. You can already see a little bit here, but spoilers. Anyway, I have made some changes throughout even minimum security, and I first want to go over all of the changes that I did. As you can see, the blue walls on the reception area here have been replaced with concrete, because I would otherwise have no use for concrete. The oriental walls still exist. The wooden stools inside of the cells, all 160 of them, have now been replaced by leather chairs. I figured since these cells are supposed to be hotel rooms of the utmost luxury, wooden stools wouldn't cut it, so leather chairs it is. I have replaced the green striped fancy walls with the blue striped fancy walls over here and over there, and the burgundy walls over here have been replaced with the blue walls, and the Art Deco walls that I had over here in the back, as well as the solitary, have now been replaced with blue walls respectively, and the Utani walls with Solaco flooring. Also, I've added classy windows inside of each of these solitary cells, because. And of course, I had already replaced the blue carpet, or the red carpet in here with blue carpet. So, that pretty much, except one thing. Both north and south here, I have changed the power block, laundry and chapel situation, where I had one giant power block with 2 power stations and 2 water pumps and 2 water boilers, but only 2 small laundries and 2 mediocre sized chapels. I've changed that to what you see here today, 2 normal sized power stations with the water pump and boiler, and then larger laundries and larger chapels, both up north and up south. And that is it. Also, no, that's not it yet. In the Island-bound DLC, we've got a couple of new items, such as the deck chairs, which I've added in the yards of the minimum security. And in each of the receptions, I've added the scanner machine, the scanner monitor, and the checkpoints. Also, I realized that this hedge was blocking the route of the stone path into the visitation area for the visitors. So I've removed the hedge and made it a proper stone path, as it was supposed to be. Also, apparently I forgot to add lights in here, so I did that retroactively. That takes care of all of the minimum security changes. Medium security, because I was still in the process of building the outside, it meant that I had to redesign and re-equip all of the cells. I've thrown in regular chairs in most, if not all, of the cells. I do remember in the previous attempt that I had the PA systems in these 2 cell blocks, but I've removed them in favor of other stuff. Still, room quality 5, 8, 7, 6, 6, and 9. And for the tents, I have changed the orange walls to the oriental walls and the brown carpet to checkered carpet. Also, the white tiled and white walls of this area has now been replaced with concrete as well, and I've thrown in a couple of bushes just to beautify the area. I'm still in the process of installing all of the bushes. I did a test run of this just to see if the game would break, if the game would allow me to play at any given random proper speed. It does, it's laggy, but it works. It's nowhere near as laggy as before. So yeah, I've changed the design of the cells, at least in what they have. Even the sixes are different. These guys have the pet birds, but these guys have the sink and mirrors. These guys have a TV, these guys have a radio, and of course the chairs and the shower heads remain in. These guys have pet birds and TVs, but a larger cell. These guys have bookcases and punch bags. And windows, large windows facing outside. Because large windows facing outside not only takes away the -1 point for no windows, it adds not only 1 point for the large window, but also 2 points for the outdoor window. So a large window facing outwards is basically worth 3 points, whereas having no windows is worth -1, such as you can see here and here. I don't remember what the original things had in the quality cell tents, but that really doesn't matter. In terms of the amenities, once again, quality 4. Well, somewhere in the safe, my policy messed up in terms of food, so medium high. Oh, it's a 6, but it's currently set as a 4, so don't pay attention to that. Everything is a 6 for medium, everything is a 10 for minimum. Medium classrooms, medium security classrooms will only teach the foundation education. Medium security workshops will only teach workshop safety induction. And the minimum security will have everything available. Now let me zoom out and show you the rest of the prison, just an overview. We have maximum security in the back here. We have criminally insane, protective custody, death row with the criminally insane canteen. Or protective custody canteen, sorry. Protective custody and Supermax. So, super or maximum security has pretty much everything that's red in terms of walls, except for the showers. I really liked in the original the look of the iron walls with the rusty walls with the iron flooring, so I went with that for the showers. The backside is pretty much just a gym, common room, kitchens, solitary, and canteens. And then for the staff, we have one armory over here and one kennel over there. Another staff room, which just is non-food related. Only for food they can go over here and over here. The gymnasium, laundry, shop, and mailroom are the only places they can work. They can also work in the kitchen for maximum security. And the luxurious cells, they have the canteen as part of the cell block. Now this is actually open because these cells all have windows facing outside. Once again, this is 2 points because it's a small window, and it takes away the -1 point for having no windows. And then the inside cells, which don't have windows, are the quality 3 cells. These cells are the quality 5. I only have 20 of them. 10 here and then 10 on this side. And in terms of the amenities, maximum security has 3, 3, 3, 3, and canteens are 3, common rooms are 3. A thing you may notice, despite the fact that maximum security cannot learn in the workshop, they can still work in the workshop. But I hear you ask, how does that work? If they cannot be taught in the workshop, how do people work in the workshop? Well, the idea is that I want my prisoners, all of them, to want to go to medium security and hopefully minimum security, of course. So the idea is that a prisoner comes in, start out in a 0 cell, will work its way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after 5 days he will go into minimum security, where he can learn how to work in the workshop, and then he's gonna mess up. And by messing up, he's gonna go back into maximum security, but he will still be able to work in the workshop there, that way. So that's how I solved that little problem. And this way, maximum security will still get me money from exports. At least I hope. This is all pure speculation, pure theory. I don't know if it's gonna work like that, but that remains to be seen. So yeah, maximum security luxurious cells have the cushioned walls because they're red. And the outside is the burgundy walls. So the burgundy walls that I originally had here and on the outside have now been used on the outside fully for the maximum security. I've also thrown in the sniper towers because it was the only thing that I wasn't using. And the slum walls, which are kind of red in my eyes, are used for the shop, common room, reception, etc., etc. Then we have the criminally insane. Criminally insane cells are not gradable, so they don't get anything special. They will have to go to the backside for the showers, and this is a radiator, and the radiator over here is sadly on this side, but oh well, doesn't matter. In terms of amenities, their canteens, their yards, their gymnasiums and common rooms are all 5 out of 10, even this one. Like before, like I've mentioned before, I can only upgrade the psychiatrist office once I've done enough of the psychiatry sessions. So I need to get criminally insane prisoners first, then have them start doing the sessions, and after 10 sessions I can do the leather sofa, which is going to replace the white sofa over here. Then after 20 sessions I can do the medicine cabinet. After 30 sessions I can do the Rorschach test. After 40 sessions I'm gonna do the flipboard, and then finally after 50 successful sessions I can throw in the anatomy board, which will make the psychiatrist offices 5 out of 5. I've chosen to go with 5 out of 5 because, or 5 out of 10 for the rest of the amenities, because I have to make a separate wing altogether for the criminally insane. Now, the same goes for my protective custody. I need to have a separate wing for them altogether. So in terms of their cells, they're not going to get any redeeming qualities. So they just have their normal beds and a single toilet. They are still 2x3, so the room quality of 6 is still checked, but they don't have any windows, so it's still a 0. They have the showers in the back of their cells. And in terms of the common room, yard, gymnasium, and the canteen down here, I've graded them all 4 out of 10. Now, criminally insane, going back to that, will have their spiritual guidance classes. I think that will work. At least in terms of programs, I can give it to them. And the game doesn't say like, hey, you can't because it's criminally insane, and they don't work. They will still have their Alcoholics Anonymous. They will still have their behavioral therapy. They will still have their over here pharmaceutical treatment for drugs. And of course the psychiatrist sessions. But they don't work. So the mailroom, the laundry, and the cleaning cupboard will have to be manned by staff. But since there is speculation, and this is something that I'm gonna have to test out, and I've mentioned it before, some people say that Criminally Insane, because I realized I have forgotten some of the flooring. Oopsie. Okay. That Criminally Insane through visitation will get their money, and that's how they can get their stuff at the shop to fulfill their luxury needs. However, in order to get to the shop, they will have to go through this little hallway here, over to protective custody, and only protective custody members can service not just protective custody, but also Criminally Insane over here. And the same goes for the Supermax over here. They don't have their own shop. They will have to go over here to the the protective custody. Death Row. Same idea as before. A little staff-only forestry in the back. A little staff room over here with a door control system. This is all protective custody. The even the infirmary over here and the kitchen, where protective custody can work, is all for protective custody. And then Death Row does have its own kitchen, staff only, does have its own laundry, staff only, does have its own cleaning cupboard, staff only. All of the doors that I've used in Death Row are now remote doors, so each of these doors requires a door servo. Hence why there's only one door control system over here for this entire block. They still have their paroles, but those are only for Death Row appeals, as Death Row inmates do not have parole. And in terms of the cell grading, these are the absolute worst. They have the foam mattress, they have the pressing walls, the overgrown walls. They have no windows, and the PA system, which is here, will function for that -1 point. But, just like before, what I wanted to show you, in hot water, they have no showers in their cells. So if they want to shower, they will have to come over to this shower area, but it doesn't have hot water. As a matter of fact, this place doesn't have any heating whatsoever, except for in the kitchen for when they start cooking. While I'm in the screen, I want to immediately head over to Supermax, because you may see something a little funky. The showers over here, and also over here, do have hot water. But it's only the showers on the pillars, so-called. We'll pretend that these are pillars, and eventually the floors are going to be replaced with iron floors instead of the ceramic tiles. That's a little change that I did last minute before I started to record. But this is the Supermax area. As you can see, it's a lot smaller than the previous version. Staff areas, including security, minus the security areas over here and over there, are bamboo flooring, which is one of the last minute additions. I was going over everything during a bit of a live stream, and then all of a sudden I realized I wasn't using the bamboo flooring. And as such, I've also added the bamboo flooring in these two common rooms, but not those, this one and this one, because these are the Alcoholics Anonymous common rooms. As for cell grading and room grading, the ideas are exactly the same as before. -4 on the cells, all of them. The only difference why I'd say that Death Row is even worse than Supermax is that Death Row has the foam mattress, whereas Supermax only has old beds. I don't know what is worse, but we'll just go along with it. The gymnasiums, the only way that I can give them negative points, and the only negative point I can give them, no windows, so they have no windows. The yards, I had to make them again 7 by 7 to make sure that the -1 point for the size of 50 squares or below was ticked. A PA system in the yard, and 50% mud flooring, aka all mud except one sand path. As for the common rooms, all of them, now I've made sure that the Alcoholics Anonymous common rooms are small enough. The only negative point that they can have is having a CCTV camera in them, so that's what I have. And then the canteens, low quantity meals, low variety meals, no windows, and a CCTV camera in them. Once again, 4 canteens per area, 4 canteens over here as well. And once again, the large unassigned room over here has pretty much everything for their basic needs. The bleachers, which I think I need to move up, no. Cell phone or payphones, weight benches, art easels, radio, coffee machine, water cooler, snack machine, drinks machine, TV, arcade cabinet, just some random placed stools, fans. On the other side, of course, it's all mirrored. Chess table with bookshelf, and this is a chest of drawers. And the boxing rings, of course. Each of the blocks has 2 cleaning cupboards and 2 laundry rooms, staffed by the prisoners themselves. There's a cleaning cupboard over here, there is a small cleaning cupboard over here, and this area is just to make it mirrored, because otherwise it would look a little funky. And they still have their mailroom, large mailrooms. They still have their behavioral therapy. I have given them visitation. They have parole. And this used to be a big staff area, or a staff room. Hello, fly. But I forgot that I had to add in a holding cell for Supermax, so that is this now. And that's why this one is larger. Pretty much, like I said, the ideas are exactly the same as in my old prison, the one that I have now deleted. The execution is just on a much smaller scale, and only 2 medium security areas and 1 maximum security area instead of 3 of each. But at least it technically should work. Now, I have done a test where I brought in 165 prisoners, because I also had 5 death row inmates, because we were at day, well, 256 when I started. I had to redo a lot of things because I made a lot of mistakes, which I found out in the stream. So I had to stop taking in prisoners, reload the save, change everything, fix everything. A couple days in-game passed before I started recording this. And yeah, that's pretty much all of this. Now, my ideas. As you can see, I am bringing in 20 of each security of prisoners. I'm not taking in criminally insane. The idea is that every prisoner, and this is a fact, will come in entitled to a quality 0 cell, because I have turned on in policy use cell quality ratings. Every prisoner, be it minimum or even Supermax, will come in entitled to a quality 0 cell. Now, if I were to just keep it as is, if I wouldn't manually change all of the security levels to maximum myself, then minimum and medium security would just end up in their holding cells, here, and here, until they were finally eligible for their 15 quality cells, which is going to take 15 in-game games, given that they don't mess up. So I'm going to have to manually set every single prisoner that comes in to maximum security. But that's why I'm only taking in 80 prisoners per day, because that's only 60 prisoners per day that I'll have to manually change. And 80 prisoners will only fill half of the capacity of the quality 0 cells that I have in maximum. So they come in as maximum with quality 0 cells assigned to them. They'll go in here, in there, in here, in here, or hopefully they'll be spread out a little more between this one as well. Even this one. I have an idea that I kind of want to have these cells as my permanent lockup cells. I'm going to try and get that done. Because I'm going to make sure that all of my instigators will be permanent locked up. I don't want them in my general population. But that's a future me problem. So they come in, quality 0 cell assigned. They'll come in and they'll spend the day, not mess up, not being involved in any of these incidents. And then their right to a higher quality cell goes up by 1. They'll be able to go into the quality 1 cells over here, over here, over there, and over there. Oh yeah, that's how these cells were different. These are regular beds and a window, but these have old beds, a window, and a bookshelf and a soft pillow. So it's still a quality 1. As time progresses, as the prisoners are not misbehaving, they will go up here in the quality 2 cells on this side, over here, and over here, and autosave. Takes a while. Of course, over here and here as well. And then they'll go into the rank 3 cells, which are these 10, these 10, those 10, those 10. Then they'll go up to 4, over here, over there, over there, and over there. Now these have lower quality beds, but their window facing out is already worth 2 points. So I really had to narrow down what I would allow in the cells for each of these quality 4 cells. Of course, they also need to have their own shower, because only the quality 0 and quality 1 cells don't have a shower in their own cell. They will have to go into the rusty walls, iron flooring cell, the shower. And the idea is that these guys will eat over here. These guys will eat over here. But all of these guys will eat in here. And all of these guys will eat in here. They will start doing their programs. They might want to start work in the laundry or the shop or the mailroom. They might want to learn how to work in the kitchen, which is something they can do. Because I just need to make sure that work they can. But I have no work assigned in this, so I hope that because of all of the other workshops are set to minimum or medium security only, that these guys won't learn in any of these. So eventually 5 days will have passed. They will be entitled to a cell quality of 5, which I believe are these. I've thrown in some quality 5 cells because why not? This is 4. Why? Because it doesn't have a wooden stool. Must have missed that. In either placing down or cloning. No, okay. It was just out. Okay, so on day 5 or after day 5, they've done a program, which I can show you right yonder. Maximum security. They've done 2 programs, be it health and well-being, be it behavioral therapy, be it spiritual guidance. They've passed it. They have a estimated reoffending chance of 25% or below. And they're either a gang member or not gang affiliated. Then they can go into medium security. In the medium security, this is where things start to get interesting for them. They already have higher quality cells, starting with the 5s, of course, then 6, then 7s, the 6, the 6, the 7, the 8, and a 9 and even a few 10, they will be able to learn in the classroom, but only the foundation education. And they can learn how to work in the workshop, but only workshop safety induction. They will have to spend 10 days, I kid you not, 10 days, and not be affiliated by any gang whatsoever before they can finally get into the minimum security area, where they have everything what their hearts desire. They can do the carpentry apprenticeship program. They have a classroom where they can do both foundation education as well as general education. They can still take all of the other programs. They can even work in the forestry, I hope, because in the previous attempt that constantly broke. So I'll try it again. If it doesn't work, if the prison labor from here continues to disappear, I'm just gonna make the forestries staff only, and that'll be that. But yeah, once they are in here, they will have the best life possible. They will make me the most money as possible. But of course, as prisoners are prisoners, they can mess up. And that's why I'm going back to the policy. No matter which level of security you are in, given of course your only minimum or medium, if you're involved in any of those incidents, you're instantly going to be set back to maximum. Why is that? As prisoners do not misbehave, their right to a higher quality cell goes up by 1 each single day. So 15 days without incidents means that they're entitled to a quality 15 cell, which is right there in the middle. However, if they are involved in incidents, let's say we found some drugs, that's an incident. Not only are they gonna have to go to, well, solitary or lockdown for their allotted time, but they also lose their right to a high quality cell. It is instantly reset to 0. However, the only places in minimum and medium security that are quality 0, or basically ungraded, are the holding cells. But I don't want that. I want them to have to earn back the right into the nicer area. So that's why I'm sending them all back to maximum security, and hence why I have also a few more extra quality 0 cells in here. They can still take every skill that they have learned, be it education, foundation education, or even general education, but more specifically the workshop related stuff. And they can at least use the workshop related education in maximum security. Hence why I have a maximum security workshop without a classroom, without the office, without the foreman. And this foreman and this one will not get taught, as you can see in my programs. There you go. Cool. Workshop, maximum security, no classes whatsoever. Also, I need this here. I need this here, and that there. This not, and this here. Because for minimum security, I'm going to be removing this work hour. Now I need to make sure that that's protective custody only. That is fine. Maxsec. Supermax. That didn't exist yet. Actually, I'll throw that in here. Insane sec. Max sec. Look at all these paroles. Well, look at all these paroles. I'll show you in a moment. But I have 3 parole sessions per day per parole room. And okay, so I've just made sure that whatchamacallit. Wait, that's protective custody. Okay, that's true. Okay. Just making sure that everything is everything. Just making sure that minimum security doesn't have any work at 8 or 9 p.m. because I'm going to remove the work at times for that once I have them. Yeah, just look at the amount of paroles that I have. Well, behavioral therapy, I've already started all of the programs, so that's why it's partially why I have such an abysmal daily cash flow. Also, I have completely staffed this place. That's the other reason I have such an abysmal cash flow. But look at all these parole hearings. All of them. All of them. Lots of spiritual guidances. Death row appeal. Running 6 per day. Psychiatric consultation. Plenty. Plenty. And even some guard taser certification. Where exactly? Here. I still have plenty of that to do, but oh well. Yeah, I wanted to show you my rooms. 1200 cells. Yeah. 1200 cells. 6 holding cells. 3. Is that correct? That is not correct. I was about to say. That looks off. Of course, I'm gonna save it after this. I was about to say, I should have way more solitary than that. These are autosave. Let's see. Indeed. Even some solitary up here. Pausing will speed up the game quite significantly. Okay, so these were all solitary. Okay, that's correct. All of these are solitary. And these are not. So I'll quickly fix that. I've done this just to make optimal room, and these are already solitary, so that is good. Solitary here exists. Solitary here exists. Solitary here exists. And exists. Oh yeah, solitary for minimum security has windows, just not these two because those are lights. Padded solid. Yeah, padded solitary, those exist. More solitary, those exist, and those exist as well. Those are, and those are too. Okay, so that takes care of all of the solitary. Good. So, a lot more solitary than. No dormitories yet. And I emphasize no dormitories yet. Because I only have a capacity of 64 for my protective custody. Let's just say that as time progresses, a lot more protective custody inmates come in. I will change these cells, all of them, to dormitories. And note that I won't increase the capacity for the canteens. They'll just have to live with it. Screw them. Plenty of canteens. Plenty of kitchens. 20 of kitchens. 23 showers. 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. 22 yards. 1 storage right over there. 1 deliveries on the other side of the road. 1 garbage over there. obviously execution chamber with the warden statues surrounding the electric chair, just because. 5 workshops, but only 4 foremen, and the foremen are here, 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 and here. At least 1 security. Oh wait, these guys don't have that. That could be an issue. Screw that. These guys just won't have security. If anything, I could remove one of these parole offices and then make them security officers, but I don't care enough. I have a lot of psychologists, so I need a lot of offices. And of course, the 4 offices for the foreman, and then the 4 offices for the accountant, the warden, the chief of security, and the lawyer. Plenty of infirmaries all around the prison. Nothing in the middle I see in maximum security. Oh well. Only 6 morgues. I remember a time when morgues were kind of bugged. 23 common rooms. Plenty of them. Of course, the 2 common rooms in Supermax are for Alcoholics Anonymous only, just to make sure that the other common rooms aren't used. And I've already addressed that in the programs. Laundries, at least 1 for every block, every level of security. 19 visitations. Everything has visitation except Death Row. Death Row can get visitation, but I just don't want that, so they won't have visitation. Plenty of cleaning cupboards, 8 kennels, 8 armories at the same time. Plenty of staff rooms. I want to be good for my staff. I don't want them to go on strike. I don't want them to rage, so plenty of staff rooms. Libraries, only protective custody, medium and minimum security have libraries. Forestries, 2 forestries for hopefully minimum security, forestry labor, and 1 forestry for staff only in the back. 8 classrooms. Protective custody can only also get foundation education, but their classroom is quality 4. Medium security, as mentioned before. This is going to be another hour-long video. I don't care. Medium security, only foundation education, and of course minimum security, both foundation and general education. 1 export's over there. Everything has its own chapel, even protective custody, but not death row, obviously. Plenty of parole rooms. I have a total of 54 parole rooms. Now, as I said, I have 3 parole hearings every single day for every single one of these 54 parole rooms. Except for the death row parole rooms, because you need to have parole rooms for the death row appeal. So, I have 52 parole rooms with 3 parole hearings each day, and 2 parole rooms with 3 death row appeals each day. That's a lot of potential extra money from early prisoner release. Receptions. Every area has its own reception. Since my maximum security area is just that large, I decided to give it 2 receptions. Mailrooms. The only thing about the mailrooms is that the criminally insane mailroom is staffed by staff, by guards, because criminally insane doesn't work. Shops. Once again, criminally insane don't work, so they don't have their own shop. They will have to go to protective custody, and I've given the protective custody also access to man the shop that is only for Supermax, and everything else has its own shop. Padded cells up here, capacity of 80. 1 padded holding cell, 32 padded solitary cells, 4 psychiatrist offices, and then 20 gyms of varying quality. And that is it for the rooms. Now I need to show my intake. No, not yet. I am gonna show the save, because I changed something. Save it. Just look at how long this takes. Pause it. I'm addicted to that iced tea, by the way. But what I wanted to showcase in extras, map settings. I have turned on prison transfers, because that's the whole idea of this prison. Events, because I always use events. Fog of War. I always use Fog of War, but during construction I turned it off, which wasn't necessary because I didn't have any inmates, so Fog of War is turned off by default. During my initial playthrough, where I had prisoners, but no criminally insane wing just yet, I turned off that inmates can turn criminally insane. I only found out that this was a thing during the second playthrough of the Cleared for Transfer. You may remember the first playthrough where I went from nasty cells all the way to nice, where suddenly I was... I didn't take in criminally insane, but suddenly I did have criminally insane inmates, and you can turn it off. So during the first playthrough of the nice to nasty series, I turned this off because I didn't have criminally insane wing yet. However, I've turned it on because I want criminally insane. However, I will not be taking in criminally insane inmates. I will let my inmates become criminally insane, and that's the only way that I'll have criminally insane inmates. And hopefully I'll have enough, and otherwise they're just gonna be shacked up in the whole padded holding cell. Now the dynamic reputations, I remember this vaguely, but I think it used to be just a mutator, but now it's a game option ever since the Island-bound DLC got released. Speaking of mutators, nothing going on in the extra challenge. Actually, yes. The good stuff. Prisoners who take drugs and alcohol will randomly gain traits and reputations traits, making them progressively more difficult to deal with. That's the only thing I'll take out of this one. I am going to take super guards. All reputations revealed, because I am working with prisoners gaining reputations as they're in here. And I thought that there would be something here as well. Fast walking. I'm turning on fast walking because the game is going to be laggy once I throw in prisoners. It's already laggy with OBS running in the background, having no prisoners but fully staffed. Let's see. In here, I am going to take nothing else. Something different. I'm gonna take the extra reputations. Unlocks a range of new reputations your prisoners can have that will alter their behavior and how they interact with your prison. Now, the extra reputations, I'm thinking of pickpockets, so they will steal stuff from the guards more often. Copycat, they will gain traits as they interact with prisoners. But I believe it's just in theory, not in practice. So if a copycat doesn't have the extremely volatile trait, but he interacts with prisoners that do have that, then the game will show you that this prisoner will have gained the extremely volatile trait. But I don't know if he will actually have become extremely volatile. That remains to be seen. Also, Preacher. During one of the events, a prisoner can become a preacher, but with extra reputations, preachers will just come into your prison. And there are a bunch of other reputation traits that we'll just have to figure out as time progresses. I was originally planning on doing the Needy prisoners. I'm not gonna do that. I was originally gonna do the... wait, where's faster deliveries? Fast walking. Super guards. Fast deliveries. No. No fast deliveries. Okay, so these are the mutators that I'll be using throughout this playthrough. Oh yeah, I was gonna use wild growth, but not gonna do that. Now I'm gonna save. And I wanna see what this dynamic reputations holds, because I don't remember. Okay, so for that I'm gonna have to create a new prison. Land expansion. Expands the land on your plot for each side, allowing you to start but much larger from the beginning. Okay, so that's no longer a research then. Dynamic reputations. Ah, here we go. Prisoners have a chance to gain or lose unique reputation traits during their time in your prison, based on their activities and experiences. Nice. Now this prison, obviously that I'm playing, has staff needs on, has escape plans, has weather and temperatures, has events, has criminally insane but not turned on, not intaking, has failure conditions, has gangs. And it's the jungle plot, but that doesn't matter. I do have the regular warden. I actually wanted Safara Agnova, but oh well. With Dalmatians, because I didn't use Dalmatians just yet. So yeah, that is the setup of the game. And I forgot to mention that even minimum security prisoners and medium security prisoners, they might want to escape. Or they might commit a murder. And in prison policy, I have said it so, that only for escape attempts and only for murder can prisoners become Supermax. And for the maximum security prisoners, because they are already in maximum, they will already have lost the right to the higher quality cell. I've only turned on murder and escape attempt for Supermax. Supermax, well, that exists. Death row, their punishments are the same for Supermax, and these guys have the same punishments as medium security, and these guys have the same punishment as medium security, except you know what? Let's add some fun to this. I'm gonna make it so that my protective custody prisoners can still get into Supermax. And then later the general population. This is gonna make it dangerous, but I'm gonna enjoy it. What's this? Okay, that is safe. That is done. Okay. Now, when I loaded the save, this was all kinds of messed up and it didn't want to save it properly, but yeah. I've chosen the high meal quantity but no meal variety for the criminally insane, because these people are special snowflakes. You know, they could be allergic to gluten or lactose intolerant or whatnot, so we want to make sure that we're cooking the exact proper things for them. And so they will eat the same thing every single day, so that they don't have that variety and thus might not go crazy in the head. But then again, having no meal variety might cause them to go crazy in the head. Well, that remains to be seen. I wish, however, that I could set a schedule for death row inmates. Because if I could, I would make it so that they can only eat one time per day. I don't know how many times they eat per day, by default, because you cannot set the schedule or the regime. But I will make it so that they will have the absolute worst experience in this prison. So they have the absolute worst cells. They have cold showers, if they even shower. And they will have the absolute worst food possible. Maximum Supermax, still awful, 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 awful. Just not as awful. And then the higher security, or the lower security you get, the better your food. With, of course, minimum security having the highest of the highest. Anything else? Okay, so I think I've showed everything that I wanted to show. So let's talk about, well, saving. And as I save, this video is going up today on Sunday, July 19, 2020. Tomorrow, July 20th, 2020, I will stream this. I have already done a test stream of this prison, fully staffed with prisoners inside, where I discovered all matter things that were wrong, and I had to retroactively fix. So after I reloaded the save, but this save file, as it is right now, is ready. It's ready for prisoners and cleared for transfer. Tomorrow, July 20th, 2020, at 8 PM Central European Time, I will go live with this prison. I will continue the time and save it one more time at, let's say, 7 AM in-game time. And I will be streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 PM Central European Time, because Friday I'm streaming Euro Truck Simulator 2 with Guilty Pleasure Song Request. You should tune in for that because it's just fun. And if this prison runs fine, I might stream again next week, also Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday again for Euro Truck Simulator 2. And these streams will go up on YouTube as part of the Let's Play. So, I'm gonna let this game run in the background for a little bit, but I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you're glad that I've decided that I will not be beaten by this game. But I will beat this game. I hope to see you all for the stream, for the streams, and if not, for the YouTube videos. I've been working hard on preparing everything, and I will see you all. I'm excited. I'm just excited for this, because this is the vision that I had, though smaller. But now is the time to test out the theory in practice. So I hope that you'll join me for that. If you did enjoy this, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps out a great deal. My name is Hecthor Doomhammer. I thank you all for watching this almost hour-long video. And I will see you all hopefully for the stream, which will be uploaded on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, etc. Half an hour each day. And if not, I will hope to see you on the YouTube videos. And if not, hope to see you whenever. Goodbye.